This is the FJ Cruiser 2007, applies to all of them of course, wiring harness unraveled. And I did this so that I could get to the four-wheel drive complete, there it is, four-wheel drive ECU, and that's the regular ECU underneath, but just the wires for that all the way through to the front ADD and back to the transfer case together. I wanted everything clean so that I could use it for getting this 4x4 working, this front actuator going. Heck yeah, I got the four-wheel drive working. Look at this mess. Okay, I gotta clean it up, but I just had to prove to myself it works. So here's the FJ 4x4 unit, and it's running completely independent of the ECU from the Lexus. In fact, this little wire that I think is supposed to go to the dash indicator, but I can't get any voltage on it when it's when the front ADD is engaged, I think is supposed to go to the FJ ECU, and I don't have it going anywhere, and it's fine. The four-wheel drive is working, even though it looks like a huge mess of wires. We're at the beach. We made it onto the sand. Yeah. Crazy windy day. FJ. Okay. Still need to put these the gauge in, but that's a project I just haven't spent any time on. I've been working on this other Toyota Tundra. But anyways, I finished up the install of these handy little add a circuit links, and it plugs into the original fuse there, fuse holder, and then so the inside one would be for your original circuit, the inside fuse, and you add another outside fuse for the rating for your extra circuit that you're adding. So that just easily comes in and out. It does block there, the one next to it, but you can easily remove it if you need to check the other fuse. So what I've done is made my FJ so it has two wheel drive low gears just by adding the circuit and the switch in between. So if you were going to do this for your FJ, you'd only need the switch, because mine didn't have power because I'm using Lexus electronics. Anyways, when I push this button inwards, my four-wheel drive can be activated by this guy here. So if we listen, I'm going to listen right in down here. Under here is where I place my four-wheel drive module. You'll hear the relay come on when I move this lever. Hearing it go off is actually easier. Ready? Did you hear that? Click, click, click. Now, if I'm in four-wheel drive like this, and I can actually turn the four-wheel drive off with this button. So listen for the click. Hear that? It comes back on. So basically what's happening is this guy is powering that your four-wheel drive box, and normally there is a circuit down in here. When you move this from here to here, there's a switch on the transmission that turns on the front ADD axle lock. So if I'm down here and I want to go over to low gear, okay, let's see if I don't have the car on right now, so we'll use the little deactivate switch on the parking. There we go. Put it in neutral. I'm already go over, and I go into low gear. Now, because of that switch that's down on the transmission being activated, you cannot, if you have just a regular 4x4 setup with the FJ, you can't be in low 2. You're only in low 4, right? Well, if I power off the module, you hear that relay. Now I'm in low 2 because the front axle is deactivated and not locked. Okay, kids are coming over. Video's done. I need to put a sticker over here. You're very confused because it says AC, but it should say too low, basically. Here's the 2007 FJ wiring harness drawing. So I'll spend some time going through this just so everybody is clear in case anyone has to repeat these steps. So First I'll go from the top left, which is the red wire. Excuse me, how about we just start all the way up at the top left at the purple. So purple is IG, and it's on the 20 amp fused ignition circuit, one of them, and so you need 12 volts power coming in there. Then down to the left on the bottom, pin 6, it's hard for me to see on the small screen, you have the transfer indicator switch 4-wheel drive position. For that and the white ground, those go to one of the blue connectors on the transfer case, which when you switch your little stick from 2-wheel drive into 4 high, that switch there is closed and activated and tells the motor inside the front ADD to turn on, which gets me to DM1 and DM2 are the motor positive and motor negative. The motor is, in other words, a servo that moves the ADD fork, and this green next one and the one next to it, which is purple lavender or purple light blue, those ones keep track of the servo position and tell the motor when to turn off. Okay, so going to the right, there's another switch in here, which basically is a grounding switch, and that I connected to ground. And then looking above, you have your indicator 1 and your ground. Indicator 1 was the wire that needs to go over to the main ECU of the FJ, which I may connect directly to the gauge light.